In less than a week, I'm going to be heading up to Bonnie, Scotland with my friend, and I'm going to be taking my CX500, which needs a little bit of work doing to it. When I bought it in 2010, all that time ago, I stripped everything off it. I wanted it to look really cool and continental, but there's nothing cool about being sat at the side of the road because your rear wheel's been splatting water into your air filters onto your electrics, and it won't start, and you're getting soaked wet through. So, slowly over the years, practical things have crept back onto the bike, but one thing that it hasn't got is a rear mudguard. That needs to go on. Its radiator's leaking, there's no oil in the forks, the starting thing, it's not starting, it needs another solenoid on it, and there's a few other niggles and naggles to sort out, like a bit of welding and things like that. It needs a luggage rack. I've just got this weekend to do that. So, without much further ado, let's get cracking with the knacking. I got this carpet from the carpet shop, it's just an off-cut. This cobbled floor is useless for dropping things. I want to be able to pick it up and have a decent area to work on. Got the idea from Colin Furs. Woo! Doesn't want to come undone. No, it does. Big tyres. Big old tire. Well, that just snapped off, so it definitely wants changing, does that exhaust. It's only a temporary swirly pipe. This is just the front brake lever, taking off the switch for it, which looks like it's kind of rusted together. Not fuss those too much because it looks like I'm breaking them trying to pull out the clips. This is my cruise control. It sits on your brake, so you can wind the throttle back and sit it on there, and then you're cruising. Some of these connections have been on fire and they're not the best to undo. I did a hill climb on the bike and yeah, the blooming thing set on fire. Within my ownership, the CX has been horrifically abused. I've subjected it to hill climbs and we've had pretty poor summit success ratios, falling down multitudes of times, and on one occasion the turbulence moved rust from my tank into my carbs, causing petrol to leak all over my electrics. When I shorted the starter relay with a spanner because it wasn't working, oomph, we had fire. I was surrounded by petrol tanks and people. I didn't know where to go really, so it wasn't ideal. Lots of good-natured attempts at extinguishing the fire with water just made for the flames spread further. Thankfully, my stepdad emerged from the crowd armed with a walking stick, determination, and most importantly, a flat cap. And he just started beating the flames into submission. I and a few others joined in. I took my race top off and we started smothering the flames, and incredibly, that put it all out. So, battered, burnt and bruised, the CX and I continued the event, and the CX even got me back home. But it did have its payback when I did a Speedway race, and it broke my leg and my ankle, so I was off work for quite some time after that. No tools for me. I think that's story time over. Let's get back to Fettling. This headlight is off my first car, which was a 2CV. It was a spare. As I've said before, I only had a week to get my bike ready. And the reason why I only had a week is because Barry and I realised that the weekend coming up was the last weekend that we were going to have to get away on the bikes before we got into autumny, wintry bad weather. The temptation was to buy a cheap bike to use just for the trip and then sell it again, but I thought, no, I need to do the work to the CX and there's no time like the present. I got cracked on with it, and as you'll know, it's like opening a can of worms with this sort of a project. You're just hoping, crossing your fingers, that you're not going to break something when you're undoing, or you're going to find something that needs urgently replacing, because with only a few days to spare, there wasn't much chance of me or being able to order anything. You see that? There's a bolt there. I was risking it for a biscuit. I mean, a nice chocolate, gooey, crunchy biscuit, a luxury biscuit. If I didn't go up to Scotland on my motorbike, it wasn't going to be the end of the world. It was a risk worth taking, and it wasn't going to cause a wolf to come knocking at my door. We'll get rid of these ignition coils. The part which makes the 12 volts turn into loads of volts for the spark plugs.
Yeah, I'll have a look, see if I can find a hostel there. Occasions, that's actually in Fort William. No availability for that.
Oh, you're kidding?
Right, it's looking like 6.
3 better.
3 better for 123.
Shane, I did message Tom, but obviously it's his wedding in a few weeks.
Yeah. Okay, I'll just get this.
That looks like it's going to be a nightmare to get out. Oh my god, that is tight.
Yeah, Fort William next Saturday is giving rain all day.
Rain all day. Let's see it. There we go. Now it all looks simple, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Lots of bits everywhere.
There's not that much to it, is there?
Not now.
It's nice, isn't it? Without,
Yeah.
I can't believe you that one of these 2016 one I was looking at. It's like £6 and it's
There's nothing in that. Oh god, no wonder it was ringing. Well, there's nothing in this one either. It's all bloody on my brakes. Yeah, look at that. Oh dear. So, it's up to them though, isn't it? I've not really...
It's quite a bit further up than the cameras and stuff.
They must have really appreciated it then.
Yeah, they're alright. She sent me.
Off Marketplace?
Yeah, she sent me. It's like brand new. It's like a Pack-a-Mac thing. But when you get it out, it's like an 80s shell suit. It's like purple, yellow, and something stripe across it.
On a night time, you're making a
You
fire.
don't even have a waterproof jacket. What, a bike jacket? It's a wet one.
Yeah, it is. Alright. This is when this one comes out and springs up on me.
Mate.
Alright, yeah.
440.51. 405.
Because the Newsbury people there overnight, including a man whose house was caught this morning accused.
She's spending part of today planning a slow train journey from Zurich to Lucerne and then to Venice in October with my wife Lisa. We're going to go to Interlaken. I've been to Interlaken.
I'm not an expert, but that's not good. That's not good at all. It's not looking good. All these years of not having any paint on the frame and taking its toll. And yeah, it's all over. I just didn't realise the extent of it. I'm not sure what to do really. I'm pretty optimistic with stuff. This is looking like it's quite thin in a lot of places. Deary me. I really wasn't expecting that much rust on the frame. I knew I'd neglected it by not painting it for all those years, but Christ, it needed some serious work. And I think maybe it does want replacing. I'm not 100% sure. I just cracked on, got my head down, and just persevered. But if you weld, you'll understand how frustrating it can be when the metal that you're going onto is a bit thin and you blow holes in it. It's a real pig of a job. Maybe it's the wrong tool to use, or maybe it's just my lack of skill. But it's just, sometimes it's like 1 step forward and 3 steps back. Nobody gets too far like that, as someone once said. I did start making some headway with the frame, thankfully, and some parts looked okay. They could be superficially good, but I think generally with a stick weld, if it looks strong, it is strong. And if it looks terrible, then it is terrible. Not like with a MIG. I think a MIG, it can look really good, but be very weak. Anyway, I started making some headway, and a lot of it looks like bird muck. And a proper welder would go, "Oh my good lord, what have you done there?" But I think it'll hold up, which is all I really wanted. Just as long as it sees me by. I'd just like to point out that there's no sponsorship on this video because I didn't fancy doing one. It's been a while since I've uploaded a video, and I thought let's just have a clean video without anything interrupting it, other than me. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to very kindly ask if you could find it within your heart to like, share and subscribe. I'd massively appreciate that because it really does help. Like, follow and subscribe. No, that's wrong. Like, share and subscribe. Oh. That's the little tags going on for the back, and then Barry came and gave me a hand putting some sand into a pipe, which is in order to bend it. So fill it up with sand, close the ends up, and I just hammered the ends up shut, and then I welded the fire extinguisher onto it. Oh, so the plan is to bend that round. We filled it with sand, so it'll be tightly packed up, and hopefully it won't kink when bending it round here. So I'm going to give it some heat, and we'll just see what happens. So this attempt didn't actually go to plan because I think I put too much heat on it. It ended up bending unevenly, and I also believe that there wasn't quite enough sand in there too. So I've never done this before, so it's a bit of a trial and error sort of a job. This is attempt number 2, which went a lot better, I don't think I used any heat for it at all, but it bent really smoothly. You're about to witness Ziggy being ridiculous. This is the final full day of working on the CX before we head off, so it's crunch time. I didn't do too much talking yesterday because I had my head down. I didn't expect to find that much rust on the frame, but hopefully now I think we've just about capped it. I'm not exactly happy with everything that I've done. I'd love to have more time to do it, but I just need to get cracked on, get that rear loop done, and then if I can get onto painting today, that'd be brilliant, and then maybe get some reassembling done if possible. So I've just got this loop to put in the back. That swing arm I think really wants replacing. I mean, I've patched it up loads and loads. I've put a patch around there, put a patch around the side, put a patch underneath. I've put my little frame tags on. I shouldn't have really spent time doing it, but I've put tags on for the rear mud guard. There's another one there, and then there's another one here, and that seems to have held it quite nicely. And I had to put a patch here, patch on the back of one of these with some holes in it. There's a patch on the side somewhere under there, and there's another one here. Had to do that one. That's a big hole which you saw, and there's another one there as well. I bought this bike 15 years ago. I think it was only something like £100–200, and it ran for about 2 weeks, and then the cam chain snapped, which I have found out is a notorious problem with CXs. For any CX people, I'm just going to tell you what I did to this bike. So, mounted the CDI on top there, put the regulator underneath there on a little bracket there, positioned the battery to go down there as well as a starter solenoid. Obviously took off the airbox, changed the jetting. I think maybe it's a 130 main jet 90, and then I lifted the needles up as well, picked it up with a Coke can, and then just bought some proper shims. Put this bracket on underneath here. It makes it a little bit less lazy looking, a bit more aggressive. And then I lifted the rear shocks up, forks had dropped down slightly, chopped the back end off, and I just temporarily put this, what my friends called a spade. Looks a bit like a shovel on the back of here. I put that on temporarily because I set off to go to Athens on it once, and I was rushing to put it together, and I didn't get that far. I didn't get anywhere near Athens. I was very ambitious trying to do that. Yeah, that's it. I think that's all that I can see. Obviously, big chunky Avon safety mileage tyres onto it too. So there's a back tyre on the front and a big chunky one on the back. Right. If you have a CX and don't already know, it's well worth googling triple bypass and changing your cam chain tensioner and your cam chain as well. Whilst I was working away in the garage, Barry popped in a few times to help, and also we were making a plan of where to go and where to stay and booking places. We'd also kept a close eye on the weather forecast, and it was foul, just non-stop rain, which wasn't ideal. It's not the best. You're exposed to elements on a motorbike. So we decided to change our plan and go to the very sunny Wales, which had a great forecast. Ah, you bugger. Ow. God, they hurt you when you're riding them, when you fall off, and they hurt you when you're bloody doing stuff to them as well. You can't really win. All of the welding, they'd squeezed the swing arm together, so I put the jack into it to try and open it back up again. painted. Okay, everything's painted. I think assembly can begin. I'm not going to do much with the engine, just check its valve clearances and just do the cam chain tension. It's had its oil change, it's had its filter change, so it's running really well. And I do have a 650 engine to go to swap round. I thought it was a direct swap, but I need to change quite a lot of stuff, and I really need a lathe to do it, which I don't have. That's on the bucket list of things I'd love to have. This engine is actually pretty bonkers. It was designed in the 70s and it was revolutionary. It's a water-cooled pushrod engine that revs to something like 10 or 12,000 RPM, so it's a really high revving engine for a pushrod engine. And they had to make it pushrod because this V-twin, each of the cylinder head sticks out the side. If it was any bigger, if you had your cams above here, you'd just stick out too far. So they've put the camshaft within it in the centre. And yeah, it's water-cooled pushrod, 500cc V-twin engine, and it makes about 50 brake horsepower, which is a lot, really, considering it's a 70s design, made in the 80s. You know, it's a 40-year-old motorbike. And they did actually make these with a turbo one, which I have actually ridden one. So it's about 50 horsepower, then the turbo kicks in, and then you get another 30 or 40 with only a few RPM. So it's a bonkers thing again, but that's kind of like a power band of a motocross bike. Great fun, but not very practical for the road, I don't think. Yeah, so that's my little rant about this engine. It's a cool thing, and it's almost like a lawnmower engine, really. You see a similar sort of design in some lawnmowers, and it's like a lawnmower car engine type thing crammed into a motorbike. Chunter about the engine over. Let's put it back together. This mudguard does not fit the front wheel at all, it's quite comical. I don't think I'd change it because it just looks funny. I'll have to show you a picture when the wheel's fitted. This is the headlight from my first car. Well, it's a spare from my 2CV, and I've just painted it. I was in two minds whether to paint it, but I love this colour, which is actually the colour from a 2CV Charleston. It's kind of going with the 2CV thing, but just on it in its own right, it's just a lovely colour. That's the same colour I did the tank. And I'm going to convert it to LED because that is really not great. Converting to an LED is as simple as popping that in. It'd be good to try it out to see what the difference is like side by side, so we'll do that later. This is unhappy, so I just need to find out what's going on here. There we go. Happy days. Very posh. Prefer the colour of this tank than I do that light. Okay, Ziggy's come to test as well. So that is LED. This is that's knowledge. I didn't realise it was as bad as that. No wonder I've not been able to see in the dark, especially with my tinted goggles on. So this prattling about is getting the wiring all sorted back out again, and I'm just trying to figure out what goes where. And I should know, I'm an electrician. And this is the new starter solenoid, which means I can start using my electric start again, which is an absolute winner. And I'm just soldering all those together, then putting a bit of heat shrink over the top of that to do a good thorough job, keep all the gremlins out. Just spotted that, which that's close to being completely broken. Nearly there with it now, so it's the end of the weekend. I was hoping to have it finished by now, but there's a few more bits to do, and I need to order a little mud guard, and so hopefully that comes in the next couple of days, because I'll be a bit scuppered without it. I need to, just knuckle down. So, but I've got some work to do, so I just need to try and get it done in the evenings. So I'll see you then. Again, I'm back out with the soldering iron, which is a really good soldering iron actually. It just goes onto a DeWalt battery, which is super handy. Oh god, that's long. Ta-da! Exhausts! So these ones have gone a wee bit rusty. Let's take that off. This is my exhaust that I bodged up a while ago, and it's not ideal. I've used this spiral exhaust, which has worked, but it does blow. It's not the best, and it's just starting to get a bit rusty, and also the inside of it isn't perfectly smooth, so it's not great for flow. So what I need to do is I need to copy this section here with this. So I weld that disc onto there, like so. Fill tube up with sand, not flute, and then weld another one onto there, and it shouldn't compress. That's the plan anyway. You don't even play a flute like that. It's a didgeridoo. Dry sand. I've dried this out. You can see how dry it is because it's dusty. Wow. We've got a bit of a kink there, haven't we? A hell of a kink. We've not got enough of a bend. Not great. Not great at all. It needs something to... Well, it needs more sanding for a start. I'm going to try this again when I've got a bit more. When I can. It's quite late. I don't really want to use my angle grinder, so I'll put a bit more care and attention to this.
46 03 700 100 600 and I just want to introduce this next one because it is a new artist for your radar, brand new single from a Swedish Indian multi-instrumentalist called Ishak.
Attempt 2. We've got a farmer, and hopefully I'm going to swarm that up, shove it in there, scooch it round, and then we're done. Oh, bloody great big kink in it. Really annoying. It's kinked. Urgh. Damn. Oh, I think it might just have to go kinked. Attempt 3 because I've run out of exhaust. I've got 2 to make. I'm going to have to use that kinked one, and then this one, if it kinks, it kinks. Tiny bit of a kink, but third time lucky. Well done. Awesome. That is good. Well, still got the brakes to sort out, wiring to hook up properly, air filters to go on, gear oil to put in, a few bits to do to the engine, radiator bung, obviously put tank and seat on, rear mud guard, and it's maybe about getting towards 11 o'clock now, so time will tell. I've set myself a bit of a task here. Oh yeah! Hey, we're off! So we all made it to Wales and we all got back again. And riding the CX there and back, it just gives me such an immense amount of pleasure. It's been in pieces on the floor, in tiny little pieces, countless times, and each time I pull it out of the ashes I get a fresh taste of satisfaction and freedom. And I'm not exactly sure why that is, because it's just a 45-year-old commuter bike, it's nothing special. And I think maybe that's the point. It's a bit of a dogmatic paradox that when you rub something normal together with time, you end up with something quite abnormal. And I can't quite put my finger on why I like that, but I do. Anyway, going off on a bit of a tangent there, but route-wise, we set off from North Yorkshire and we headed down into Derbyshire, and we spent the night there. Then we went across into Wales, into the middle, which I think they called it Lanny, and then we headed back up north in Wales, I went around Snowdonia on the back routes. This map shows kind of a loose idea of where we went. We went more back roads than that. My CX has not gone to the scrapyard. It's not turning into baked bean cans just yet. Barry's Triumph Street Triple performed beautifully, which is a bit of a tongue twister, and we both thoroughly enjoyed being on two wheels exploring the English and Welsh countryside. And I think whether it's a mountain bike, push bike, motorbike, I think it's just such a good way to explore. Okay, got back from Wales and I just wanted to give you a debrief on the bike. It's done really well, but you know, the engine's been fine. Problems that we've had, the tank, it's not big enough really. It only gets about 100 miles out of the tank. The reserve is very small, so once it's running out, it's like, oh god, it's running out. It's more of a sand in the face is the reserve. It's like, yeah, you're done. So you can stop the fuel over to the other side and it sort of sorts it out. But yeah, it got us into a couple of tricky moments in Wales, where we're in a remote place. Kind of had to turn back to a petrol station because it wouldn't have got to the next one. The exhausts were horrifically loud, like obscenely loud. Some Brillo pads in the exhaust to try and make it quieter, save mine and Barry's ears. And we tried steel wool, but that just flies out the end. So let's give this a go. Go. Quieter. Well, it might work and it might not. A younger me probably wouldn't have minded so much, but now I'm a bit like, no, it needs to be quieter. So I'm going to get some different exhausts. And then the luggage dropped off, burnt a hole in this, burnt that, and yeah, that was a bit annoying. This water bottle fell out, went under Barry's rubber wheel. Could have knocked him off that really, but yeah, not great. And there's just some cheap rubbish. The horn isn't very loud at all. That's not really going to do any notifications. And then the rear light, that's failed as well. Just cheap crap off the World Wide Web. But you live, you learn. But yeah, it's done it. We're planning on doing a Europe trip. Would I use it? I'm not 100% sure yet. If I could make a bigger tank, then maybe. But why not? Why not use it? And the other thing is, I burnt my legs. I'll show you that. Burnt legs. Starting to turn into an OnlyFans bumming page on the cylinder heads because it gets so hot. Because I'm sat too far forwards, this needs moving back. But yeah, you only learn these things by trying it, don't you? Overall, it's done pretty damn good. And it could do with a side stand as well. That would be handy. Because I've just been leaning it on the wall. We took my side stand off a couple of years ago when I was racing it and never put it back on. So that's the top and bottom of it. Thank you very much for watching. Hope the video's been interesting, and yeah, ciao for now.